So this is probably the most common selling error I see from investors, and particularly overseas investors, but pretty much any investor. I see it with local investors, local Australian investors, whether they're in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane or Perth. And I see it with nearly every overseas seller. What they do when they come to want to sell their investment property is 9 times out of 10, maybe even 99 out of 100 times, the first port of call is they approach their property manager, the dedicated property manager who's been looking after the property perhaps for 5, 10, some cases 20, 25 years. Naturally, they don't know any other agent. They've only been using that property manager for all those years. So they approach the property manager, give them a call. They simply ask them, would you be able to sell my property? What would be the price? What would be the selling method? How long do you think it would take to sell? There's sort of 5 or 6 questions that they will generally ask their property manager. By contrast, when I'm representing a client, a seller of a property, and helping them appoint their manager, helping them choose their marketing method, helping them choose the commission structure, helping them choose the timing and the presentation of the property, there's 20 or 30 questions I will ask the same agent. But there's no script for those questions. I can't say, here's the list of 20 questions you should be asking, because the questions go off at a tangent depending on the agent's answers to the question, if that makes sense. So getting back to using the property manager, people feel, and quite naturally feel, a sense of loyalty, probably misplaced loyalty to a certain degree, because you see, it's not the property manager who's going to sell the property. It might be another agent in the same company, but it is not your trusted property manager, the person who has been renting it out for you for 5, 10, 20 years. If you ring them and ask them, or email them or text them and ask, are you able to sell it? Sure, we definitely do a lot of sales. I'll get Billy Bob to contact you, or Bianca Bob to contact you. And you'll get a call from the agent who will say, yes, we sell it. We're in the same company. We're happy to look after it for you. And for most sellers, that's probably as far as it goes. If they're reasonably happy with the price and the agent's answers, and most agents are very good at giving the answers that the sellers are happy to hear. That's their job after all. They will usually just sign up. They don't even often consider interviewing 2 or 3 agents. Quite often when I'm talking to a potential seller and I say to them, I strongly recommend you talk to 2 or 3 potential agents, or if you're not comfortable doing that, I will talk to them on your behalf and ask them my 20 or 30 questions. They seem quite surprised by that they can't just rely on their property manager to handle the whole thing for them. They don't realize that decision, which, as I say, it's probably 9 out of 10 people at least who make that decision, can cost them tens of thousands, and in some cases I've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's why. Firstly, the selling agent, if they're handling a lot of rentals, may not even have a very, very big sales department. I had one recently. The client had been renting it with the property manager, was a very, very good property manager, and he had absolutely no complaints whatsoever. And they were, after he contacted them, exactly as I just explained, to sell the property potentially, they were very aggressively pushing him to sign up. Anyway, I spoke to them and I didn't get a really good feeling, because they were very experienced in property management, but weren't really that au fait with selling. So I had a good interview with them, and nice enough people, no question, and just didn't really feel well. So I then did all the research and found out that their selling record was I won't say it was poor, but they weren't really concentrating on sales. They were concentrating on property management. But no agent ever says no to taking on a listing. You see, listings are the lifeblood of the agent's business. Even if the property is unsaleable, even if it's overpriced, even if it's not the world's best property, because They then get marketing, advertising, signboards, promotion on realestate.com.au and domain.com.au. They get their name in front of the public, and then they may sell them something else or promote another property or get another property for listing, for sale. Listings are the lifeblood. Without listings, agents don't have anything to sell. So I have never seen an agent say, I'm not suitable for this property. That agent down the road, over there, they're the best agent for you. I've never seen it, never. So what I have seen, though, many times is the agent say, even if they're 20 or 30 kilometers away or 45 minutes drive away, they will say, yes, we can handle it. We'll do the open house. We'll do the internet advertising. We will take this property on. We'll give it our best shot and try and get you the highest price. And they absolutely mean it, and they absolutely will try to do that. And some are better at doing it than others. And that is my whole point. Your property manager may have a brilliant sales division within the property agency, and they may be absolutely the best agent because they handle lots of rentals in the building. They live and breathe the building for rental and for sale. They've done 25 sales in that building last year if it's an apartment. They may be the ideal agent, but they may not be the ideal agent too. Even if they seem to be the ideal agent, still, please talk to another agent, at least one more, ideally two, and then make your decision. Weigh up the pros and cons of each. Actually, my property manager is the best. And please don't make the mistake of choosing the agent who gives you the highest price and the lowest commission. I have other videos on that, and on my seller's guide, which there's usually a link in the section below the introduction there. Usually there's a link so you could get access to my seller's mistakes report. Actually, I have 24 seller's mistakes that I've identified over the years, and so I list those in that report. So in summary, interview 2 or 3 agents. Don't just choose your property manager unless you're absolutely sure they 100% are the best agent for the job.